Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the Bristol Prepper channel. So guys, first off, I want to apologise. We're out in the rain. I look like shit, like a drowned rat, because I've been in the wet. We have got a tarp up. And also guys, if you want to see what we've been doing and how we built this little camp we got going, I will put up the video either before this or after this. I'm not quite sure, but you can check that out. And that's a little bit of a camp antics video, seeing about how we built this and what we did and what we got up to today. So this video guys, though, is about how good is a kitchen knife in an SHTF. So I've got an average kitchen knife. He's a full-time construction, one nice piece of steel. The only trouble is it's quite thin, as you can see. It's quite thin, but it is a full-tang knife. No specific brand, just says Butcher stainless steel on it. So we're going to have a go with that and see how we get on. The first thing we're going to do is process some firewood. I've just got a little bit here. I've got to cut it all right down the middle, split it all in half and open because it's sopping wet, everything's wet, I'm wet. So we've got to cut it up because there's nothing we can burn here. It's just everything's dripping wet. So got to get to the dry stuff in the middle. So, and the only thing I'm going to use to help this knife is the Bocco Laplander saw. Just because that's what I use in, if I was using another knife, like my Mora Bushcraft Black, I'd be using a saw anyway, you know, they kind of go together. I can't process the entire wood without a saw. That's just the way I do it. So yeah, so we're going to crack on with this. So let's get into this. So guys, the first task we're going to do and see what she's like is a little bit of light chopping. Nothing next level. We're just going to see what she's like and how she handles a little bit of chopping. My little helper today, Sam, he's going to be holding my Bocco Laplander stool, just because I don't, if I can avoid it, I don't really want to get everything soaking wet. It's a headache there when you get home. You've got to, you know, make everything dry. This is literally the first time. I haven't done this off screen. Just done this now. The only thing I did with this knife was give it a little bit of a sharp edge. And why are we doing these experiments, some people might be asking, was because imagine if you had nothing and this is the only thing you could find to take with you to the woods, to an SHTF, or this is the only knife you had, or only knife you had left. And before anybody else goes trying it, or just think, oh fuck it, I'm going to use my mum's kitchen knife for a bushcraft knife, don't be going doing that, because these knives were not designed for this, they weren't made for this. I'm just kind of doing it on the fly and doing it so you guys don't have to. So really just don't try it at home guys, just go out and buy yourself a bushcraft knife. They're really cheap. Get a Mora for under £10, go and buy a Mora, and don't be using your mum's kitchen knife, because it wasn't designed for that. If it breaks, snaps and flies in your face and stabs you in the neck, then it'd be my fault, because Bristol Prepper told you so. So don't go doing that, and just doing it for scientific purposes. So we'll see what she's like at chopping. Now straight off of this knife I can see straight away that she's really good at sticking in the wood, because of that thin profile on the blade. Sticks in really well, but it hasn't got no weight to it, you know, which obviously a kitchen knife designed not to have that. But it's just sticking in too much and not splitting it, if you know what I mean. It hasn't got no girth to kind of split it. So you guys might be saying I wouldn't be using this for that, but if all you had was this and a Bocco Laplander, you'd be using this for chopping. Really flexible. Yeah, chopping is not by far not its it's not its best aspect. Right, I'm going to stop that before I come knock myself out. So, show what the wood looks like. Cool, I fell off there. So this is what the wood looks like. See that? Loads of tiny little chops and tiny little indentations. It has not got the girth and not got the weight to be splitting such things, you know, to be chopping such things. But that's why we're trying it, see what she's like. To chopping, not so good. And I'm covered in mud. But there we go. So, let's have a good little look at a little bit of baton in. See what she's like at that. Just for shits and gigs. See what she's like. We're going, let's go on the edge first. So it's a full flat grind, so it should sit in the wood really well. doing it off an angle to start with. This is not a great start. Now it's fucking stuck. This is awesome. This is fucking awesome. There we go. Here guys. Just try a smaller piece on the edge. God. The knife just bends as well. The steel's not hardened the same as a bushcraft or survival knife, so it's flexing in the wood. You know, it's giving it a bend and a curve in the wood, and the grain is definitely stronger than the knife. So the wood's just kind of pushing it to the side and saying, "Get out, yo! What you doing up in my shit?" So there we go. Come on, come on. As you can see, look, see that straight away the knife bending. You see the knife bending, look. Check that shit, the knife bending. It's also the grain's pushing it the way it wants to. With bigger knives, the only knife I baton with or machete is the Condor Bushcraft Parang, because that thing's a tank that can baton for anything. And that doesn't move in wood, you know, that goes against the grain. This lasted all of about 5 minutes whilst batoning, and now we have a small sharp jabber. So it can't chop, it can't baton, but we'll see what she's like at carving and shaving things up. So I'll go with that. So now we've lost most of it. We've now got a short, stout little jabber. Straight up, these handles are just not even shit. They're fucking dangerous. Spin the camera around here, Sam, so you guys can see it a little bit more. Down a little bit, mate. There we go. It's alright, Sam's in training, guys, don't worry. We'll get him up to standard soon. So these handles, my hand's wet, muddy, and looks like the inside of a dead dog. So, and this handle is like, don't try to hold on to a soap in the bathtub. It's slipping everywhere, it wants to go in my hands. I'm having to grip ridiculously with it. Yeah, it's not too bad at actually taking things off. It's just the handle worries me, you know. It's worrying me. So see what she's like at fine task. And we're choking up on the knife. That's the only aspect I really like, and I like about the French trade bushcraft knife, is having this little it's not even a choil, is it, because the blade ends here. It's like this, the extra large finger groove, you know, to sink your hand into. I really like that. That's a nice little aspect of it. I do actually like. So let's try a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Cameraman brings it down a little bit. There we go. Don't worry, guys, he's learning. We'll get him there in the end. So we're just taking all this moss and bark off. We might be able to actually use it when it comes to make a fire in the set. In the next video. It's beginning to rain again. What more do you want? Right, this knife's actually fucking irritating me now. It's that shit. It is that shit. Let's spin my bench round. There we go, sitting down. I'm getting old. My knees ain't what they used to be. So let's have another go with this. Remember, guys, if you're sitting down, spin the camera up some. Down a little bit. There we go. We'll get there in the end, guys. Yeah, so remember, if you're cutting, you're sat down, kind of do it side saddle style, you know. Put your legs and your balls to this hand side, to the left or to the right, and then cut to your other side, so you're not cutting in your danger triangle, you know, where your balls and your legs are, and your main arteries. Everything is just so goddamn wet. It's okay. The grind's quite nice for digging in, you know, it digs in real good because that full flat grind. Any of you guys that use a full flat grind bushcraft knife will know they slide through things. Just as steel, I think. It's just, the steel's just not a good steel. Not obviously tempered to the same, just not made to the same standard as a bushcraft knife. You know, the bushcraft knives were meant for this shit, and this little thing wasn't. But she's getting the test anyway. Don't worry, guys. You don't have to not tell Mrs. Bristol Prepper. I did warn her before. I did ask before I could take this into the woods. I know she's not expecting to get it back, so she wouldn't be making me much tea with this thing, would she? So just taking its bark off of it. So the only thing I could say, to be fair to it, is that this is quite a hard wood. I'm not even sure what tree it is, to be fair. It's a dead fall tree, but it's been down for quite some time. Covered in moss. I'm not quite sure what tree it was. I didn't really care to look. She's taking this bark off of it. Let's see what she's like it. Doing little trap triggers. See it? We're just getting a little bit of water there. Cameraman can spoon around a little bit towards me. There we go. That'll do. He's in training, guys. He's in training. Leave a nice little comment for our Sam down beneath, if you're feeling kind. There we go. So you see, we're making these a small little piece we use for making traps. All these little notches and stuff like that. You can so it's like it's too jolty, guys. The grind, I don't know. It's a steel. I tried sharpening it to my best of my ability, but I've also got to go steady because of this end piece. So it can do some of the finer tasks. You can see some ruffles, and I know it's not feather sticks. Before anybody shits the bed and starts having panic attacks, oh no, my god, it's not feather sticks. I know, guys, I know. I'm not trying to make a fire. I'm just trying to see if you can do the small little carving tasks. So it can do the small fine curls, but it's just not a great piece, you know. It's not. I wouldn't choose it. So to end with, we tried these different bits and pieces. I think the only thing we could try left is maybe if she strikes a ferro rod. Maybe. Let's bring the camera down. If Sam can spin the camera down, we'll check this out. These are small ruffles, they might not even light. Is the cameraman ready? Yeah. Apart from it being the fucking hardest thing in the world to... Sam's having kittens because of the noise. Making some high-pitched fucking screeching noise. Fuck's sakes. Nah, guys, this thing's not having it at all. This is an actual piece of shit. It's not striking it properly. It's like... Right, so it is chucking sparks, as you can see. That's probably the thing it's best at. It's just quite awkward, you know, quite lumpy. Like I said, the handle's spinning around like a prick in a shirt sleeve. So it's, yeah, so it does chuck them. If we can, I'm using kind of that broken edge of the blade to chuck the sparks. It does chuck the sparks, but it's just, don't know. Obviously, I wouldn't choose one. Choose it for you, take it in the woods. Neither should you. Like I said, go pick yourself a Mora, carry it around everywhere with you, and that could be your bushcraft knife. But if you had to in SHTF, I'd say you could. It's not good really at anything. Chucking sparks was okay, but after we snapped it. So it is okay at you could do it in a pinch, you know, if you're gentle with it, didn't baton, didn't do chopping, and you were kind of nice and gentle with it, you could survive with it. And use it as a survival tool. I wouldn't. Highly recommend you go out and get yourself a survival knife or a bushcraft knife. But yeah, it could do it in a pinch. In a pinch, I reckon you could get away with using this as a survival knife. But yeah, that's it really for today's video, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching me and joining me and Sam. Sam's loved it, I've loved it. Hopefully you guys have loved it. It's a good crack, and it's nice to be out in the woods again, even if it is fucking raining and we're under a tarp. But that's it really for today's video, guys. So as always, stay prepared, and I'll catch you guys another day, another way.